Hello, friends, and welcome to Profoundish. I'm today's host, Weston. I'll be joined by Alex shortly. Today's the password episode. We're going to talk about, passwords and, long SAT words, and then we're going to play a game where we try to guess each other's, randomly generated password. It'll make sense. Just listen to Profoundish. Just the briefest moment there, every word in existence fled my brain. I'm like, what's the name of his other podcast? I know this.
I like the idea that every word was in your brain, except for two P's and podcast. Like every other word was flooding. Like, ketchup, euphorium,
euphorium,
just any words. But not two P's and podcast.
I need a modified version of, that meme with what's his face, that I don't know actors, that one actor or whatever, but it zooms in, and actually no, the more popular meme is that chick, but the numbers flying in front of her face, that meme, you know what I'm talking about? Uh-huh. I need that, but instead of random math equations, I need just random words. That's my brain routinely. Just when I need a word that I know, it's gone. And I'm just like, what are they? Where are my words? I know so many.
My words have failed me.
They do. And I need to read more as an adult. But I used to read so much. My vocabulary is large. I know it is. It's been a thing I've been told before, where my vocabulary is immaculate, but I don't know the words when I need them.
Well, it's funny because there's words that I have in quite a few in my vocabulary that I do know. It's a similar thing, because then I will read something and go, "Oh, that's a good word. I know what that word is, but why haven't I used this word in the last 3 years?" I know it. I didn't need the definition given to me. I knew what it was, but it's I forgot about that word.
Oh, yeah, this word.
Yeah, that's really more what it, at least for me, it's I forgot that word was a thing, but I like that word. And then I'll tell myself I'll start using a certain word, and then I just won't. Unless I really hone in on one particular one. But when I'm reading a book, usually, there's a handful that'll stick out. But yeah, it's hard. Especially when you're so used to saying certain things a certain way for so long.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of words that are just so much more common to use than the fancy ones you might know. It's really exciting when you see a word that you either don't know, especially now, not being, I don't know, a 10-year-old where most words are new to you or whatever. Now, as an adult, it's most words I'm going to encounter, I have encountered. Right. So when you do come up across a new word, you're like, what is this? A new challenger approaches.
A new challenger approaches.
And I do mean words, not just crazy Latinized medical terms. I'm not. Yeah. A lot of that stuff gets kind of wild. Those are very specific professional stuff. I don't worry about that. That stuff is pretty new to me because that's not my field. But when you come across something else, it's oh
yeah, and there's that small subset of words that are some people associate a good vocabulary with large words, which is just not real. But there's a lot of those large words that you just sometimes wouldn't use, or anytime you would, it's so obscure.
Right.
That's why are you really using it,
Just
there's a line
lord your
there,
intelligence over others. Right. My multisyllabic vocabulary.
But I will say this, I won't ever forget, this was in college. It was just one of my English courses. I can't remember which one, but I did, this is an online course specifically, fully online. And I did a report on something. I don't know what it was, but I remember I got feedback, and it was a decent, the feedback was decent. It was a decent grade. I did fine. And he said, the professor said, but just put the thesaurus down and just write what comes natural to you. And I never used a thesaurus. I just used words in my vocabulary.
Right.
And I can guarantee I didn't use any outlandishly strange or obscure words. I just used what was in my repertoire of vocabulary of words.
Hang
And I
on, you
remember
said
that really
repertoire. Hang on, put the thesaurus down. I know.
Easy killer. But no, honestly though, I kind of offended me. It's like, well, I mean, you're insulting me. You're assuming that I don't know these words. And
Right.
I didn't like that at all. It still stuck with me after all this time.
I remember you telling me about that.
Wow.
You actually have. It's been a long time, but you started saying that. I'm like, I remember this. There was a professor. Yeah, there was a professor that told you to put the thesaurus down. And it's just funny to me because I've never been told that, I don't think. So I don't know if there's like a disconnect, a dissonance, if you will, between like perhaps I'm going to try to start thinking of like longer words if I can.
We're going to be both throwing each other words this whole podcast. Just throwing out any words we got.
Actually, we're going to get to this in a minute, but in case everyone from last week has forgotten, this is the password episode. So words kind of relate.
Is that true? Is it really the password episode?
It's a password episode. We'll get to there. It's fine. But
oh, that's good.
I feel like you forgot too. I meant it last week. Password episode.
I remembered it as soon as you said it.
But I don't know if there's a dissonance between like if that professor had met you in person and what they expected out of you, maybe from the way you spoke in person versus on paper. Because in hindsight, after you told me about that situation you had, I can't think of a single time ever that a professor has said the same thing to me. And I usually am pretty like, my papers are a bit fluffed up as well with the vocabulary. And no one's ever told me to like dumb it down. Although that is a thing that in the past, in speech, like speaking to other people, I have encouraged myself to like dumb down my speaking because this was many years ago. I kind of know how to like read a room, kind of figure out like how to talk to people or whatever. But I would overshoot my vocabulary and people would say, I don't know what you're talking about. Usually me talking to like kids that are like 7 and I'm like, well, I don't think what you're doing is very relevant in this situation. This kid doesn't know what relevant means or whatever. That relevant is actually a word that I remember. What's another one? There were a handful of words that I remember using, like just specifically remember using in a sentence. And I just get this stare like, I just don't know what you're talking about. This was years ago, obviously, much, much younger. But that's something that in my mind growing up, I'm like, I have to like dumb down how I speak to people. Not how I write necessarily, but
well, honestly, whether it's writing or it's speech, I think a part of it's knowing your audience.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much what you just said, and I don't remember this part. I wonder if I still have the papers. Maybe it was a paper that maybe those like using those kind of words it wasn't necessary for. I really don't remember, but but that's always a possibility too as to why he said that, but. That's true, especially in person, though. Yeah, you got to know who you're talking to and what the topic matter is. Like if you're going up there and you're cracking jokes like you're a comedian. I've heard very few comedians that use very I don't know, obscure like lesser used words because you're just trying to be as accessible as you can to as many people as you can.
You're trying to, you're trying to appeal to the everyman, so you need to speak the everyman language.
Right. Nothing wrong with it. It's just
if you were giving an educational talk, like in front of like a bunch of professionals or experts or a TED Talk or something, then you can get kind of fancy with it. You can drop lingo to a specific industry or a specific field. You can kind of speak to a more like educational crowd, that kind of thing. Great. You're doing a comedy show where, most people, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong about this, most people go to a comedy show, like turn my brain off, make me laugh. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Really quick, because you introduced me to him, and I just thought about this. You introduced me to Stephen Wright years ago.
Yeah.
Classic 80s and 90s comedian. He recently put out a book, and he was interviewed on Conan's podcast, Conan O'Brien's podcast, and I listened to that because I like Stephen Wright and I like Conan O'Brien, and I learned, this is totally random, but I just thought of stand-up, so I wanted to share it. But one of my favorite jokes of his, and I had a lot already in my head, but I forgot about this one, or maybe I never knew it, and it was I went to a restaurant, and, they said that they did breakfast anytime. Just, you can get breakfast anytime. And he said, okay, I'll do French toast in the Renaissance. Or French toast during the Renaissance. It's just such a stupid, it's classic Stephen Wright. It's like, and plus with him though, he can tell his jokes because he's got that
dry delivery. Yeah,
just nothing. Yeah. And I thought that was his shtick, by the way. But I listened to this interview. That is how he talks. He's just slow talking, just one note, just talking like this, monotone. So that's just who he is. He's like, that just always, I just use that. He said he didn't even really use it to his advantage. It just kind of
fell
worked
in his
out
lap.
The way it did for him. Yeah.
I love it.
Funny.
I love Stephen Wright. The one that always sticks out for me is and I don't remember the full like set or whatever, but I remember the punchline or whatever is I was watching Smokey the Bear and he told me only I could prevent forest fires. And I looked at him and he kind of like looks left and right and he points to himself. Me?
Me?
Every night I was out the window with a bucket of water.
Listen, anybody, look up Stephen Wright. Give yourself a little history lesson if you're not familiar. He is very funny, and I'm pretty sure overall, like anybody, like he's not super vulgar.
No, I can't think of any other.
Straight.
He had a good, I don't remember the joke, so I won't tell it. So, y'all, this is homework for everyone listening. There's a Stephen Wright nympho joke, but like that's the dirtiest that I've ever heard.
Well, I know probably my favorite that's always stuck with me is just one line, and it's, I levitate birds, but nobody cares.
I knew that line. I levitate birds, but nobody cares. If you watch it, at least in the show I watch, if you watch him deliver that, he's not even telling it like in the mic as a joke. He's like walking away to get to his water or whatever. He's like walking. He's not paying attention to the audience. I levitate birds, but nobody cares. It sounds like he doesn't even care.
I know it's the subtle genius. I wonder if Stephen Wright. I wonder what Stephen Wright's passwords are for his accounts.
Bird levitation 1 2 3.
Bird levitation, probably the year he was born or the year he graduated. I'll do that when.
Yeah, I feel like those are common.
Sorry, go.
No, go.
I was going to say
exactly.
We keep cutting each other off. Sorry. No, when I see people's license plates, I'll usually do that. I'll like play this game in my head. Okay, so it says Johnson 84. I'm thinking, okay. So I don't see them. So they could have been born that year. They could have graduated that year. Maybe that's their anniversary year.
Right.
Maybe they're 84. They just got their license plate. You never know. So
that could be. My old license plate. It's not my current one. I used to have a vanity plate. But it ended in a 12 because that's when I graduated.
I've never had like a plate that is vanity plate where it's like custom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never had a custom plate. I've always just kind of had whatever numbers are thrown at me. When I was like a teenager, I thought it'd be really cool because I was edgy and I loved rock music. And I remember thinking, oh, I want a license plate that says rock in it. Like, I just remember thinking that was the coolest. There's nothing cooler than rock in it.
Just RCKRLL for rock roll. Maybe a number or something.
Exactly. Never happened, and now I'm glad because, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like just a year after that, I would have been like, why did I say like that's just? Does that cost extra? I'm assuming that costs extra money to do.
This is why I no longer have a vanity plate.
Right.
My old vanity was Yomo 12 because it's the Yomobile because I'm Mo.
Oh, that's right.
Everyone knows I'm Magic Man Mo, so I used to have Mo. Yo, Mo 12.
Well, Mo goes way back.
Mo goes way back.
But that might be a story for another time.
It's a story I've told so many times. I don't even remember. I don't know how far back it goes because I don't know what baseball season it was that I got Mo. I don't remember what year it was. But
actually, you might have told that here on the show already when I asked you about like where the name Magic Man Mo came from and stuff.
I think so.
You might have broken down the Mo part.
on that episode that was like about me because we were talking about like magic stuff. I think we talked about my name a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe on that episode. It's a story I've told many times. Well, I think once here for sure, and then elsewhere, of course, on my YouTube or whatever. Because a lot of people have no idea. They just like Magic Man Mo as a title or whatever. They're like, oh, that's just a random assortment of words. But I assume his name is Mo, and it's not.
It worked. Magic
Yeah.
Man Mo is such a ring.
I like it.
And I don't even know if it's just the alliteration either. I mean, alliteration, of course, plays a part. But Magic Man Mo, all of it flows.
It
Every
does.
part of it.
It is a little odd because obviously when I made that username, this is before I started making any content. This is just a username that I used so that I could get a Google account so that I could comment on YouTube videos. I wasn't making stuff yet.
Right.
I just needed a username and I came up with that one, and that's the one I have now. But yeah.
Remember, I'll share this, and if I've shared it before, I'll keep it concise. I love it so much. YouTube channel, you know this. I'm really telling it for those listening. There was a YouTube channel called Poop Poop Fart. Did I ever tell you about? I know I told you about.
You've told
this.
me about it. Yep.
So there's a channel called Poop Poop Fart, and it did like video game music covers, and I loved it. I subscribed to it for years, and I don't know if if this is true, but I'm assuming he made this when he was 14, just watching on YouTube, just thinking it was funny, and then he kept his channel and he started making stuff years later. That's the story I tell in my head. Like, okay, whatever, I'll own it, right? Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, he's changed it now to PPF. But I remember somebody commented on one of the videos and said, Mr. Fart. He said, Mr. Fart. Remember, it's Poop Poop Fart. He's like, Mr. Fart, this is absolutely incredible and such a gift. Thank you for sharing. And he goes, thank you, but please call me Poop. It's one of my favorite YouTube comments ever.
Mr. Fart was my father. Call me Poop.
Yeah, call me Poop. Exactly. Sorry if I've shared that before in the pod, everybody, but
on the
oh my
pod,
gosh,
I don't think so. You've told me about it before, but it is interesting because depending on how new someone is to my YouTube channel, since it's called Magic Man Mo, no one ever calls me man, but some people call me Mo, and some people call me Magic because it's the first word in the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Magic is rarer. Most people recognize Mo as like the name in Magic Man Mo, but every now and again, someone comes up with with Magic. So it's kind of interesting sometimes.
Well, let's just get to brass tacks here. What are your passwords? Lay them out for me.
Well, this is something I was going to talk about. I do have some random trivia if we want some password trivia as well.
Oh, okay.
I've got some trivia, and then we can talk about passwords and stuff. Here's a trivia for you. This is as of 2013. There's a hack on Adobe, and 3.2 million of 130 million passwords hacked. They constituted the pass. I'm wording this super weirdly. Let me try again. Of 130 million accounts that were hacked, 3.2 million accounts, the top 5 of them. I mean, 3.2 million accounts. This is so weird. Where 1234566, 1234567 password, Adobe 123, and 1234567
Oh my gosh.
That I worded that in the weirdest way possible, but of 130 million accounts that were hacked in 2013, 2.5% of all of them were those 5 passwords.
And even if you take out the percentage, I mean, that's millions of people.
Yeah, 3.2 million passwords were those 5 things.
So that is something I'd like to talk about on the pod or on the password episode. Is we all make? I think we could all be better. At least I know I could. I'd be better at updating passwords, changing them, keeping them all different. Because they say the best way to keep them most secure, have different passwords for all your different things.
Right.
Change them every couple months. So on and so forth. And I don't do that. Right. I don't. And I'm sure I speak for many who also don't. But that's like 101. You don't do that. 12345 or Adobe 123. Like, really? Why would you put the name of the product that you're using in your password?
Because it's like easy, I guess, you know, and you just don't assume anyone's going to bother hacking you. I guess, right? I think most people that do the easy passwords, because I've met these people I'm not going to say who for obvious reasons. I've met people in person where they're like, oh yeah, I just use this for my password, and I'm like, so like that's hilariously easy. And it's kind of it's kind of a matter of like, well, who's going to hack me? Because, you know, they would need to know their like email too, and then punch in their password, and who cares about that person? I'm like, sure, but like most of these, especially the really big hacking issues, they're not targeting specific people. They're targeting like a blanket of people, and this has been a long time ago now. But yeah,
right. Wow. I know for a long time I had the same password. So this was, over 10 years ago, but I had the same password for everything. Same exact word for word, because this was before, or at least this was when password requirements weren't quite as complicated as they are now.
Is a word.
Good word. Oh. Exactly. Once again, though, it has to do with, more and more people are hacking, and, and I guess that's just becoming more, privacy and safety is becoming more of a thing that people are talking about these days. But anyway, back then it was all the same. And then I remember I was at work. I was at my my job at the time, and I remember this is one of those jobs. I worked for a big company, and they required us to change our passwords every, I think it was every 60 days, I think. And I remember thinking, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I know it's just, I didn't want to just have to write something down. That takes time, writing things down. And I just want something I can easily remember and just go to. And then this is what happened after. I don't know why I'm giving my password trajectory
strategy, yeah.
My password strategy, exactly. But I remember a coworker said, oh, just do this. And basically he showed me this I'm not going to go into detail for safety, but he showed me a very unique pattern on the keyboard. You could call it a pattern. I don't think if you were to plug it in, it wouldn't look like one, but it was something that I could easily stick in my head. And then he said, and then if you just move it one direction over every 60 days, you're good for a while. I'm thinking, oh, that's great. So I started doing that for a long time. Did you ever have like a pattern you'd use, or have you always used just something else, or is it random? Because there's those random password generators too.
Right. I've had a few things in the past that were random. I use Google Chrome a lot, and if you create a new account, you can do the kind of suggest strong password and save it to your Google. And it'll just be a random string of letters and numbers and special characters. I don't do that often. I've done it a few times before. My issue with that is that if then I'm not using Google Chrome and I clearly don't remember what the heck what it was, I can't get into my stuff. So I kind of avoid the random stuff because I need to be able to sign into stuff even if I'm not signed into Google or whatever. But for the most part, I have a rotating list of a few passwords that I use. I need to start incorporating. There's a couple I'm starting to I've got some new ones I'm starting to incorporate into stuff. But I've got I'd say two really outdated passwords that are for less important stuff that if you hacked me and you got into that account, I'd be like, okay, you've hacked into my Chegg account where I used to order textbooks for college. Good luck with that. Whatever you want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's one of my, I've got specifically there's one password that I use for my spammy stuff when I sign up for rewards programs for food or whatever, where it's if you break into it, the worst thing you can do is earn me some points. Right?
Yeah, go for it.
And then I have other passwords that are more secure. In fact, I have one password that is saved in my Google, and my Google let me know, by the way, we believe this password is compromised and you should change it. And they list all the sites that they have on record, that Google has on record, that I've used it on before. Change it on these sites. And I looked at the list of sites, and I said, meh, no.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because that happened to me about 6 months ago, maybe.
Yeah?
And it was for a lot of websites.
Uh-huh.
And then almost all of them, there was a few that I did change, but most of them were like, I haven't been on that website in like 7 years.
Right.
Like, and I probably will never go back. I did the same exact thing. What are they going to get? So I just changed it for the important ones and moved on. Like, I wasn't going to go through 40 websites or whatever. Like, no way.
Yeah, it was a bunch of sites that I'm like, I either don't use them, so there's no information to be gleaned, or they're like, again, there's sites where if you hacked in, the worst thing you could do is like, I don't know, try to buy something, but my credit card's not saved. So it's like you could try to, like I said, Chegg. So you could buy a textbook with my username and email, but with your own credit card. Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I don't care. Okay.
Right.
So it's random stuff like that. There's one password for
sure. If you
sure.
want to better your education, go for it. Like,
just
man. Use his account.
It won't say. I mean, it won't save you anything. Making your own email and your own password is free. But okay.
I love the idea of like some random dude somewhere, like in Wyoming, who's just weirdly comforted by using your account. But still just using his card. But like he's just like, this is nice. Like he just feels like there's that blanket protection just in case.
It would be different if this is something that I've seen on the internet before where I don't remember what the post was. This was one of those like found on Reddit posts where someone had hacked into someone's Netflix and all they did with that information was they made their own like, you know, you can have like multiple accounts on Netflix, like your like for your kids or spouse or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They
made their own account so they could watch stuff on this other person's Netflix. And the joke about this Reddit post or whatever was that the person that owned the Netflix account just let it happen. Like, okay, you can bum my Netflix. But I guess they got into some kind of rivalry, so he started blocking stuff. It was a super weird thing. It was a super funny post. But that would be an issue to me because then I would feel like, well, if they go onto if they have my, login information, they can go onto my actual account and like start watching shows or moving things on and off my list of shows that I want to watch. That would annoy me, right? I wouldn't be okay with. But the Reddit post was like, oh, I didn't really care, but now I'm going to mess with them or whatever.
Right. That reminds me, and I'd like to know if you have any too. I have this one account that there's this guy in Russia, and he really wants to get in to my like Ubisoft account.
Okay.
Which by the way, I use so rarely. Like I played quite a few Ubisoft games, but I don't care about the account and there's none of my information in there. It was only made because I had to play like Far Cry 4 when that came out like years ago, right? Or something like that. And so whatever, I haven't. It's one of those things. Kind of like you went, like I'm not going to change a password. I always deny it. It always warns me. But I just have this weird. But it's almost kind of comforting. Like I'm kind of used to it now. Like usually once every few weeks, I'll get that email from Ubisoft, and it's always in Russia. And I'd like to think it's the same guy every time. It's probably not, but I'd like to think that it is. And he just really wants to get in there. Do you have any situations like that?
I think I have had some odd they come in through email. I think I've had some odd flags here and there where it's like, this IP address located in this part of the world, try to access your account. Is this you? Or if this is not you, change your password or whatever. And I've had that a couple of times, but not in a long time, so I don't remember where it was. And when that happened, I went ahead and logged into my thing and changed it. But yeah, not anything persistent like your Russian hacker.
It's so weird. It's just the Ubisoft account, and I don't know how often it is anymore. But it still happens from time to time. And it's like, hey, good to see you, Pete. Nice to have you back. I'm gonna say no again, and just deny it. If that account were important to me, I'd change it.
One day you'll stop getting that email, and you'll be sad that they finally gave up.
I know. I kind of hope he comes back again. I already kind of miss him.
Come on, break into my password.
When you said that you kind of bounced through a few, does that mean like you will maybe have some accounts with password A, some accounts with password B, and then you'll swap them out every so often?
I have like a tier system, right? I have my upper tier, like my more important stuff gets one password. My middle important stuff gets one password, and my lower, like, not important at all gets one password. Now, that's like 3 passwords. I actually have like 5 or 6, depending on which one I feel like using at any given time. So, like, by rotate, I mean, like, so my, like, not important. There's like a couple passwords I use for not important stuff. So, like, those kind of get rotated. Middle importance has like a couple of passwords, and then upper importance has a couple of passwords that I kind of rotate between. And then after a long time, I slowly start incorporating a new one every now and again. But I make it a point, every time I make a new password, I make it a point where the password is just wildly unrelated to me. Like, if you've ever watched like movies, like spy movies or whatever, where they're like, I gotta break into this executive's computer's mainframe. You hack into the mainframe. It's always the mainframe. And it's like CEO Johnson. Oh, what's he like? Oh, he likes cats. Okay, his password's probably cats. And then what's his wife's birthday? It's probably cats January 3rd or something or whatever. And then that's like it. My stuff, like if I just died, if I just keeled over, I'm dead right now. And if my family needed to get into my stuff and they're like, well, what's he like? What's he into? Let's try that. No, none of it. If you know me at all, you're like, he's into these things. Let's try it. No, my passwords are specifically, it's not things I hate. It's not things I love. It's things completely unrelated. Just in no way. You're not getting it.
It's probably like and mute this if it's right, but it's Alligator 7.
See, you're like, mute this if it's correct. You're not going to get it. you're not.
I just thought it'd be funny if it were Alligator 7.
Alligator 7 would be like I would say it's on par with the spirit of what I'm talking about, right? Like, I have no connection to alligators or specifically the number 7. So it would be something like alligators, but not literally. But it'd be like, just unrelated in any way that you can think of, where it's like, this is his password. Why? It's because I sat at my computer with the keyboard and I just literally word associated until I came up with a string of words, numbers, characters, etc. that I'm like, I can remember this and it has nothing to do with me. Type it in. That's nice. It now. That's it forever. That's now. Nice.
I've always had a system. It's kind of in the similar vein to what I talked about earlier with that coworker showing me that little trick. I don't do that anymore, but I've never really, I mean, a long time ago I did, but yeah, in recent years, it's kind of a similar thing. Mine's just a weird, what was that noise?
I don't know.
Oh, it was like a siren. I heard it was like a police siren. I'm like, what the heck was that?
Someone's breaking into your house.
Whoop, whoop.
It's your, what? It's your house security. Alert, intruder detected.
They have your passwords.
Oh.
Man, that'd be bad timing. No,
it'd be great timing.
Yeah, mine's just, it's funny. I'm trying to describe, but I need to shut up because I'm just going to slowly describe what my passwords are. That's not what this is about.
So my password is a square with a circle in it on the keyboard, and I made it up one day by smashing my fist onto the keyboard, and that was it.
And I just stuck. No, my password actually is Alligator 7.
Alligator 7. What about the passwords that need a special character? Do you just do Alligator 7 exclamation mark or question mark or
apostrophe?
It's
Alligator 7.
7.
You know what's funny, when I do passwords like that, for certain accounts I have passwords that might contain a word of some kind.
Yeah.
And if there's a word, I always will read the password like that, like bacon, or whatever the word is.
Yeah.
I just like reading it with the exclamation point. It makes it more fun.
Well, that's been our talking section. Do we want to move on to my password game?
I think we should, but first, can you do you have one more password trivia? Just one more.
I know, I only got to one. I can't believe the time has flown by. Here's one. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not a good one. Let me find a good one.
Okay. He's gonna find a good one.
It would take a typical brute force password cracking program 12 years, 4 months, and 16 days to unscramble the random 8-character password Z7 capital S 69S @ symbol 9.
12 years.
Now, this is a statistic from 2016, so it's a little outdated. So it might be faster now. But in 2016, it would have taken a brute force password cracking program nearly 12 and a half years to crack that password.
Wow. I mean, it's still cool that it could do it.
Now,
but
this statistic has a part B to it. The same password would have taken a cracker built with 1990 technology 6,500 years.
So think about that.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long before that in the scheme of things.
Yeah, if you think about it, like I said, this is from 2016, right? So it's like, it's a 1990 technology, so 90 what? I'm not sure. So say it's been 20 years, and it's improved that much. It's been 10 years, not quite, 2016, what year is it? It's been 7 years. It's been 7 years. So like, I don't know, maybe instead of 12 years, maybe it'd take like 8 or 7 now to crack that. I'm not sure. But, oh, no, actually, there's a statistic here. Oh, I didn't see this. It predicted. In 2020, it'll take about 9 years, 6 months, and 18 days. They predicted how long it would take. Okay. I didn't even know. So it's 2023 now. So that same password, the Z7S69S at 9, probably takes a little less, but about 9 years. Call it about 9 years for a brute force method to crack it.
Isn't that mind-blowing how 8 characters, how many different combinations you have if you're using all, like,
and that's capitals,
and
lower cases,
and,
numbers, symbols, all of it.
That's wild. That is insane. How many combinations are there?
Just I don't remember how to statistic that. You have to something to the power or something, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
In 2016, with that information in mind, that's an 8-character password. The minimum password length experts recommended in 2016 to avoid being compromised at all, period, from a brute force cracking is 13.
Whew.
Which is a lot of characters. But it's not too bad. Yeah. I can think of... I had to think about it for a second. I think sorry, I was counting. I think the current... Actually, I think the current big pass... I don't know if this is the biggest one I have. I think it's 14 characters that I use right now. So that's not too bad.
Dang. Okay, hold on. Let me count. I got to recount. A-L...
Alex
is spelled alligator.
Amazing.
No.
Alligator. I thought A-L-L-I-G-A. No.
10. Mine's 10.
You
got 4 on me, man.
You're going to have to work on that. That was the minimum. It needs to be 13.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers.
Those are rookie numbers. We got to see those numbers up. All right, let's listen to some ads by us. Profoundish is brought to you in part by Magic Man Mo, a gaming YouTube channel run by me. We stream and we do variety Let's Plays. Check out a short stream compilation to see if it's something that you're going to be into. It's a lot of fun. I made it, so I know. That's Magic Man Mo on YouTube.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by Alex Duquette Medleys. I make theme song medleys, which is where I take a bunch of theme songs and mash them up into one bite-sized song. From Nickelodeon to Adult Swim, I cover it all. So, if you want to take a fun nostalgic trip, search my name, Alex Duquette, on YouTube, or go to alexduquette.net.
Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna try to... What do you mean, dang?
I said, hey.
Oh, I think you said dang. I said, welcome back, everybody, and you're like, dang.
It's funny. You clearly heard dang because your tone quickly shifted. Like, what do you mean, dang?
What do you mean, dang? Welcome, God, we have to finish this episode.
I'm just saying hello.
No, that's my fault. My ear holes don't work. I hear what I want to hear, I guess. Right. We're going to be playing a game of Password. However, those of you familiar with Password will know, hang on, isn't that a team-based game? It is. We're not. It's just me and Alex. So we're playing a 2-player version. Password, for those of you unfamiliar, there's a couple different names it goes by, but Password, for those of you unfamiliar, incorporates normally when it's teams, one person has access to a word they're trying to get their teammate to say, but the clues that they're allowed to give their teammate are only one other word. And the way it usually goes is there's two teams, and if their teammate takes a guess and they're wrong, the other team has a shot at the word. And then it kind of goes back and forth, and you keep increasing the number of clue words each round. So as each round passes, you get more clue words, but if you get the correct word right, it's worth fewer and fewer points the more rounds it takes to get there. So we don't have teams today. This is just Alex.
I'm actually learning about this game right now too. So I thought this is going to be more like Pictionary.
Kind of, but obviously this is a podcast and we're not drawing anything.
Or not Pictionary. What's not that game? Sorry. There's a game where you're. I don't know. I
Taboo.
Don't know to describe it. Taboo. That's the game I was thinking of.
Very similar to that. There are very similar password related game. Taboo is one. For those of you familiar, catchphrase is like that weird game that you could play. It was a little mechanical. It was a, like the little toy that you could hold or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Kind of like a 20 cue ball, but it was like a toy you could play. So
right.
There are a few password related games. We're gonna play one where Alex and I both have access to a random word generator, and that's going to generate our correct word. So if I generate a word now, I'm going to try to get Alex to guess it, but I'm only going to give him a one-word clue as to what that word is. And we'll start with 10 points. Okay. If Alex can get it right away with the one clue, it's worth 10 points. If he needs an additional clue, it's going to go down to 9 points. And we're going to go back and forth like that. I'll go, then he'll go. We'll go back and forth. And whoever gets the most points at the end wins. Now, because it's just one versus the other, there's a bit of an honor system here. We need to actually try to come up with good clues to actually try to answer this for the spirit of the game. That's why it's typically a team-based thing. But we're going to come up with good clues, try to get the other person to get it. But like I said, we'll start with 10 points, go 9, 8, 7, etc., and see who comes out the winner.
This is fun. I love game now that I guess I get it now. So I love word games like this. So this should be really fun. So and nothing's off limits. Obviously you just can't use the word that it is.
Yeah, you can't use the word that it is. And there's like 2 other very specific rules. You can't use rhyming words.
Okay.
So if your clue rhymes with the correct word, you can't use it. And then I'm not too worried about the second rule. Let's not do it. You're not allowed to use any clue words that its only purpose is to give away the first letter of the correct word.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I figured we'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You want me to go? You want to go?
I'll start. Just to kind of get this ball rolling. I have my correct word in mind. Your first clue is family.
Oh,
I just thought of a much better first clue, but we'll keep with that.
I'm gonna say brother.
That's not it. Here's an even better one, though. So your second clue, matriarch.
What? I don't know what that word means. What's matriarch?
This is going back to our SAT conversation about big vocabulary. I can't explain to you. My clue is matriarch.
Okay. I'm gonna look up that word.
So can I Google it?
I feel a little dumb here because I've heard that word numerous times. Matriarch.
What do you think it means? Let's figure it
but
out.
I don't.
Don't Google it. Don't cheat.
I picture like some like I was thinking wife or like something like that, but I don't know why I thought wife.
Yeah, I mean, think like kind of word associated. Maybe that's right. Maybe that's telling your brain something.
I did just look it up. A woman who is head of a family or tribe. I mean, I guess I was kind of right. Kind of wife. Okay. So my word is like Is it mom or mother?
I'll give it to you because it's mother.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
And
I think we shouldn't look things up, though, because that way we have to use whatever vocabulary we have. If the clue doesn't fit,
yeah,
then,
I'm
you know what I
sorry.
mean? No, I'll give it to you. But I was like, no,
Well, I
look
was
it up.
thinking wife. I was thinking wife. That was pretty close.
You were, like you said, you were thinking wife. I'm like, yeah, you're not far out. Because usually when people think head of the family, they think of the patriarch. The father is the very stereotypical head of the family. But the matriarch is the head of the family, but it's the mother. It's the mom. It's the female head of the figure.
That's actually kind of hilarious because I know patriarch. So I probably should have just used my head a little bit.
You know,
context
you
clues.
think a lot of people think patriarchy, right? The male-dominated society. The matriarchy would be a female-dominated. Those are the two words.
Right. Well, hey, I am not afraid to admit that I learned a word today.
You learned a word.
Okay. So I guess that's it. So now it's my turn to go with you.
Now it's your turn to go with me. Play at home. Play along at home, everybody. See if you can think of these faster than we can or not.
Yes, please do. And give us some words. We like words. Okay.
And if people like this, we can do themed ones in the future. I was thinking like we could do video game ones, movie ones.
Oh, man. I'm already sold because I love games like this. Okay, so my first... I think this will be a good one. My first clue for you is brain.
Brain. I my first gut instinct is to think like synonyms to brain. I'm gonna say my first guess. The first thing that comes to my mind is mind.
No.
Crap.
It is not mind.
I was hoping it would be. That was for 10 points. Give me a second clue. Think about it.
I am. Let's see here.
I say that as if don't think about it.
right. Just willy-nilly, go for it.
My second clue is fish.
Let's go. Well, you already have the first clue in your head.
Yeah, so brain.
Let's go.
I wonder if this is going to be...
Once you know the word, you'll understand why I'm actually kind of struggling on another clue.
That's the tricky part, where the clue can only be one word. So you're like, what will get there? But...
Right.
You know, without being the same word.
Let's do this. I'm going to say consider.
Ooh. See, I was going to start thinking more anatomically. Like my second guess was going to be like skull, right? But if you're thinking consider,
okay.
I'm thinking maybe the word is thought.
No, but you're close.
Oh, no! I bet it's literally think, and you're being hard on me. I bet it is.
It's think. You know, it's think. Let me give it to you because it's think. Because I looked up that last word. I looked up matriarch, so this counts for you. We're good.
Okay, we'll call that our first practice round, like kind of getting the rules. We both at sitting pretty at 9 points.
There you go.
I'm okay with that. All right.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. I think we're even there.
In that case, I've got...
this is fun. I love this game already.
Yeah, this is a fun thing, and like I said, you can do this with teams. Normally, you would do it with teams. This is like a fun kind of party game if you're really into words and your vocabulary. I've got my second word here, and your first clue for it is party.
Okay.
And
that could be a lot of things, and party could mean a lot of things too.
And there is a board game of Password where they actually give you like the real word and then a list of clues that you're supposed to use. That exists. The way we're playing it now is that we only have the correct word. We're making up the clues on our own.
I like making up the clues though.
Yeah, because then you can kind of think about it yourself and kind of get into the heads of the other player a little bit.
Yes, exactly. You said party.
Party, 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 rocking everywhere.
I'm going to say...
Yeah?
No, you wouldn't say that, though.
It makes me... And I don't want to say too much, because it's kind of like, I don't want to give it away, but you kind of have to think about, like...
I know.
Is it types of parties? Things at a party? Is it... No.
Is it political party? There's other kinds of parties, like... Yeah, okay, I guess I'm gonna start
That's
kind of
actually a good
vague. I'm
point.
gonna assume. I'm gonna assume you mean like a party, like a get together. So I'm gonna say this is probably a bad guess. But I'm gonna say gathering.
And that's not too bad because you're thinking kind of like what I was. You're thinking like maybe synonyms to party. And that's kind of
like a group of people. Yeah.
That's not it.
Okay.
But I like that's kind of like where my headspace would be. I like the political. I wasn't even thinking that. That's where it's like the chatter between the two. Normally, you want to give like your clues, and that's it. You don't even want to talk because you don't want to give anything away.
Right.
I will give you my second clue is floor.
Floor.
Yes, this is kind of tricky, but if you got it, you would understand. So your clues so far are party and floor.
Oh, so I'm giving you my thought process because I think it's more fun for the podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm thinking either like dancing, something like something with dancing movement, right? You're dancing on the dance floor at a party, or it's a game on the floor like Twister.
Is it one?
I'm gonna say
the other? Is it neither? What could it be?
I'm thinking. I know. I think you'd say something else for like dancing or something. I don't think you'd use the word floor next. So I'm gonna say. You know what? I don't know if this does like trademarked words, but I'm gonna say Twister.
It's not Twister. I like where your headspace was.
You know what's funny? I started to laugh actually because I thought, what adults, like there's 30 people all like in a room playing Twister. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I said it,
unless it's sexy Twister, but I don't know if it'd be 30 adults. This would be like a couples situation, or maybe like I don't know, like a very special kind of party. But I could see like we used to get together with our get-togethers and play like charades as friends, but not Twister. I don't know if I want to play Twister with our guy friends.
Yeah, it's different.
That'd be a little odd. It'd be a little strange.
Not opposed to it, but there'd have to be some convincing.
I have nothing against
some cajoling.
Any of my friends. Some cajoling. That's a good word. SAT word. My third.
It's
clue,
the word episode.
It's the password episode. My third clue is movement.
Oh my god! Is it dancing?
It's dance
or dance.
Yeah, I will give that to you. It's dance.
Dang it! I was in the right direction too, and I went the other way.
You did. I heard your thought process. I'm like, don't give it away. Don't give it away. He's on the right track.
Ah, dang. All right.
That gives you 8 points for that round.
Okay, I was hoping if you're keeping track for us because I'm not currently.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
Oh, I am.
Oh,
I'm gonna win. I want to win.
You just may not. Here we go. Your first clue. I'm just getting right into it. Your first clue is. I think it's a pretty good one. It's sand.
Ooh, there's a few different ways I can go with that. Right. Immediately I'm thinking like beach, and that'll probably be my first guess. But I'm also thinking of things that you can do with sand. Right? Is it like sand? Well, it can't be sand castle because that word is in the word. But like it could be castle. It could be like glass because it's made out of sand. I'm not sure what else I can think of right now that deals with sand, but maybe it's beach related stuff like a beach ball or an umbrella or a blanket or something. I'm going to go ahead and just say that my guess is beach.
Ding, ding, ding!
Oh.
You got it.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm glad I didn't try to overcomplicate myself because I was giving my thought process. Like it could be the first thing I think of, beach, or it could just be related to the beach or related to sand, you know? Like it could have been like surfer, although I probably would have said like ocean for that. But I don't know. I don't know your thought process.
Well, see, for a lot of those, I still probably would have said something similar to sand to begin with. But luckily, it's just such a vague, kind of generic. It kind of worked out. So that's good. Easy word for you.
Easy word. That puts me up by 2 points. You got some catching up to do, my guy.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I've got my third word. I don't know what clue to give you for it. I'm going to say, Okay, how about I'm gonna God, I hope I'm not just wrong about this, but I'm gonna say that this is a one word because it's hyphenated. It's the first clue that comes to my mind for reasons. X Games.
X Games.
Yeah.
X Games as in like the extreme sports stuff?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm going to say motor. Well, is motorbike one word? Is it a compound word? I think it's one word.
I believe so.
I don't know how you were going to answer that anyway for the slight chance that it is motorbike.
Yeah, it's like you put me in an odd position here. It's like I can't really answer your question.
I'm going to assume, I think it is one word. I'm going to say motorbike.
It's not motorbike. I'm going to say, and maybe I should have made this my second clue the first clue. But when I said the first clue, that's like one of the first things I think about, and I'll explain this when it's over. But my second clue is going to be bored.
Bored?
Yes.
You just do an extreme sport when you're bored. Okay, hold on a second here. Wait a second. This might...
Think about it. Kind of have to get into my head a little bit. What's the 4D chess move I'm trying to make here?
Oh man!
And I wish my clues could be multiple words. 'Cause, like if this were like some like charades or something, which we can't do physical stuff. But like if I could give you like a couple of words or a sentence or like titles and stuff, like I have ideas.
I'm sure you do, Weston.
I do.
Bored. Oh wait. Oh wait. I was thinking BORED. You're meaning BOARD, which means Chef Boyardee.
That's also spelled differently.
I know, but I said BOAR. But like as soon as I said that, I thought it sounded like BOA because wasn't that like a thing you would like say it? I don't know if it's Chef Boyardee. I was just spelling it out and it sounded like Chef Boyardee. That's all. That's where my brain went. Sorry.
I love it.
I'm thinking I'm going to say skateboarding or skateboard.
Now I can't.
No, you can't have the word in there.
Use the word in it.
Can you give me another chance, or does that have to count? I just thought about it. It's okay.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Because that's like I can't use what my words can't be the word or in the word or whatever.
Yeah, I thought about that after the fact. How about surfing?
No. I don't even know if surfing is in the X Games. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know.
But here's the thing.
Just think of other boards.
Here's the thing, though. So I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Surfing is not correct.
What?
But here's the thing. You were literally right there, but you got tripped up on the fact that I said board and that's in it. You said skateboarding. My word is skate. I'm going to give it to you because you were right there, but you got hung up on the fact that it has the word board in it. But skate is a word. So I feel like if I said no, and moved on, you would have never come back to skate and I would have felt bad about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
So that was on my second clue. Dang. So I'll give you 9 points for that. You're right there.
All right.
Yeah, X Games. I always think X Games because I actually think of the Goofy. I think it's the second Goofy movie. Goofy. What's the name of it? The Goofy movie 2. When
I know what you're talking
about. Max goes off to college and he does like all that skateboarding stuff. That's what I think of when I think skateboarding.
That's awesome. That's a great thing to think of, though. That's one of those Disney movies that I actually did love. I love the Goofy movies.
I want to rewatch them. I have fond memories of them as a kid, and I haven't seen them in many years.
Oh, you got to join our Discord sometimes, man. We watched the first one a few months ago.
Oh my God, did you?
Holds up. It's so funny.
If I was free, I would have joined you for it. Because every now and again, I see the notifications that
actually you have to.
That you're watching, that you're gonna watch something, but if I'm like working or whatever. Speaking of which, if you join Alex's Patreon or join him on his join his membership on YouTube, you can watch movies with Alex and the crew. Sometimes I'm there. Most of the times
Sometimes
I'm
he's
not,
there, yeah.
but sometimes I'm there.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
All right. So I got my word for you here.
All right.
And how are we doing? Is this my final word, or do we have a little more time? How are we looking? I forget how many we've done.
We went a little long on our first section, so we can either do just your word will be the last one, or we can do yours and then one more full round. You want to go one more full round after yours?
How are we doing on time? Yeah, let's do one more full round. We'll kind of make it a little lightning here.
All right, let's do that.
So let's do this. Then you do one. Then I'll do one. All right. So here's my clue for you. It is sleepy.
Sleepy. Oh God, that could be like the word could be tired. It could be bed. It could be nighttime. That's a lot of things. I'm gonna say sleepy. I'm just gonna go with bed. First thing that came to my mind was bed.
No, it is not.
Okay.
I've
got a little wiggle
right, so
room with my points. I got a little wiggle room.
Yeah, you got some. Yeah, rub it in. You got some room to, Let's see here. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say. Actually, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I will say this. I will say just this word: tired.
Sleepy, tired. Okay, so instead of this might be a synonym. Ooh, okay, because now I'm thinking if I want to think of a synonym for sleepy or tired, I'm thinking like exhaustion or maybe even exhausted. I'm gonna go with exhausted.
No.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm losing my
right.
my extra points, my wiggle room.
I know. All right, I'm gonna give you. All right, I'm trying. Hey, I'm trying to help you out here. I promise.
Sleepy,
let's do another one.
Tired.
Let's do. Okay, here's my third clue. Action.
Okay, action. It can't be sleep because your first clue was sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all the correct words are one word, so it can't be like go to bed. Maybe it's instead of sleep, maybe it's nap. Ooh, that would be an action.
No, it's. Oh, sorry.
What?
Not your guess.
Wait, you were. I wasn't. Okay, we'll say that I guessed nap. I was really thinking about it though. Nap. No. Okay.
Sorry, I thought you sounded definitive in that guess to me, so I just went for it. I'm sorry.
I understand. I was verbalizing my thought process, but I was leaning towards nap because like nap is like an action. Okay.
I kind of wish I would have changed my clue. So this is, but I think this will help considering the context of the other clues.
Okay.
So you know your clues, think them in your head.
Okay.
Reaction.
All right. So my clues are sleepy, tired, action, reaction. Well, that's interesting.
Don't think so much about action. Not that was a bad clue, but I think reaction's a much better clue.
I'm gonna say. Oh, I think I'm split a little bit. I'm thinking between like snore or snoring or like yawning, that kind of thing. I'm gonna lean with yawn.
Great job. That was it.
I did it. I was like,
good job.
Okay,
Good job.
Got it. Not something to do with going to bed, but you're sleepy and tired. I get it. Yawn. That took me. That was sleepy. That was 4 clues, so that's 7 points. I only get 7 for that one.
Dang. Well, for the record, I kind of wish I would have said reaction first, because as soon as I said action, you went, okay, so I thought hey, the yawn is the reaction to the being tired. I should have said that.
You weren't wrong. Action wasn't wrong. That's an action.
Right.
I will say, because it took me that extra clue, we are now dead even again. So we're tied right now.
Hell yeah, Batman. Hell yeah, Batman.
Hell yeah, Batman. Batman. Hell yeah, Batman. Oh my God, my next word is so difficult. Okay, this will be good.
Oh no.
All
right.
my first clue, track. Yeah.
I mean, the first thing I think of is field, but like track and field. But there's a million things. That could be railroad track. It could be like a racetrack. I'm going to say, but I'm going to stick, for some reason, you said track.
Yeah, I think that my main word is difficult. So I'm curious to see where you go with this thought process.
Okay. I'm going to start here, and then you can, I guess, steer me a different way. I'm going to say run. Like you run on a track. It's like track and field.
It's not run.
And I mean, I know it's hard, but I'm trying to see if I'm in the right wheelhouse.
Right. Here. My second clue is going to be jump.
Okay, so I think I might be. Wait.
Like, hold up. Brain blast.
No, you would.
Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
Brain blast. I'm going to say vault. Like pole vault. You jump.
It's a very good guess for vault. But it is not correct.
It's a good one, but not right.
Okay.
I think I'm in the right wheelhouse, though, I think. I guess I'll wait for your next clue to find out.
Okay, I got to think of a third clue. Those first two were my best that I could think of. My third one, let's see here. How about
track and jump?
This one's tricky because the clue can only be one word. I'm going to say
I'm still thinking it's... And you shout it out. I'm just talking.
I think I want to say... I'm going to say... Because I think the third clue that came to my mind, I think, is misleading. So I'm going to go with this different one, and I hope it's not too misleading. But I'm going to say the third clue is obstacle.
Obstacle?
Yes.
Okay. So... You're running on a track with obstacles in front of you. Oh, wait. What's that called? Okay. Is it hurdle?
It is! It's hurdle!
Yes! Woo!
That's
all right.
The third clue I wanted to say, I was about to say stand. Because, like, the little hurdles, they're like stands in the way. But I'm like, no, that's going to be really confusing.
Ooh. I would have gotten confused with that. I would have thought, what, you just said run, now you're saying stand?
I know, I had to do, I did a quick Google just for, words, where I'm like, what's a thing to call the stick? Because I always just call them stands. That's probably not what they're called. And I'm like, what is the thing? And I'm like, obstacles in the way? Okay.
Yeah, they're in the way, yeah.
Perfect. So you got that with 8 points.
That was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was a hard word, but you got there in... prime condition. I'll take the credit for giving really good clues. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. Well, you know what? Since you're doing so well, I guess I've been giving good clues too, now haven't I, sir?
You have. Yeah, I guess you're not entirely wrong.
All right.
One more. Let's do it. What's my first
final
clue
one
for
here.
the final word? I gotta beat 8 points to beat you.
I kind of hate it because I don't think... I think you're going to get it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to say... deck.
A deck could be like a porch. It could be like a ship deck. It could be like a deck of cards. I'm going to think it's probably not a deck of cards. Oh, it could be. It could be like card. But I'm thinking more like the first thing that came to my mind was porch. There's a few different ways I could go with deck, actually. I'm going to say porch.
It is incorrect.
That was a long shot. It is
interesting. It's so funny when you think it's going to be one way, then you realize, oh wait, there are more than one. It's funny hearing other people's perspectives as soon as you hear it.
Right.
All right. Number two.
I got to get on this one to actually win. You said hand?
I said hand.
We got deck, and we got hand. Deck, hand. Okay. That leads me to believe one of two things. Going the ship route, it could be like a deckhand, like literally like a captain, crew, something like that. Some sailor type, bit sailor even.
Mhm.
Or it could be, again, going back to cards, like you have a deck, you have a hand. So it could be like card. It could be poker. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say poker.
That is incorrect.
Oh, no!
Oh,
no!
So that would have been the win right here. Now
That would have
you're
been
working
for
a
the
tie.
win. Now we're looking at a tie because this is worth 8 points.
Well, I feel better. Okay. Let me
Deckhand.
see on Profoundish. Everybody wins.
We all kind of
Let's
win,
see.
right? Deckhand.
And sometimes we lose.
I bet it's literally card.
All right,
I
let
don't
me
know.
think of another good clue here.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I
Um,
wanted it.
Let's do, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
I got a word.
Okay.
And this will be it. Ready?
Okay.
Hearts.
Hearts. So, I don't. But so it's not poker. It's deck, hand, hearts. It could be the name of another card game that isn't poker. It could be. Actually, I think there's a game called Hearts. I think it might just be card or cards. But am I sure? Am I sure about that? What else could it be? Because Hearts is a face card, but you wouldn't have said deck or hand if the word was like face. That would have been a crazy stretch. I hate to say it. I'm going to go with my gut on this. I'm just going to say card or cards. I don't know if the plural matters or not, honestly. But I'm going to say card or cards.
You are correct.
Ah!
It was just card.
Because I was thinking like if it was a game of
that
cards, it'd be
simple.
plural. But I was like, it's got to be card. I should have gone with that earlier. But I was thinking maybe it was porch related, and then I knew when I said poker, I should have just said cards. Oh man,
Man, it's so funny because, like, in my head, even though I know what a deck is, like if you go out onto a deck,
right?
in my head when I said deck, I thought, oh, he's going to think cards. Clearly, he likes poker. This is perfect for some. But it's just so funny. It's like you don't have any context. It's just deck.
Wait,
have fun.
You're right. Like getting into my head, I do like cards. I do like poker. I do like some Texas Hold'em. But I was just thinking. I was thinking like, what would Alex go to first to get to the
Right, we're
to
both-
deck? So
Yeah.
I was like, well, like
We're
maybe
both thinking.
outside porch. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I
Yep.
wasn't thinking that you would think deck of cards. I mean, not that you were incapable of it, obviously. But
I know what you mean.
yeah.
We're both trying to get into each other's heads in this game, and that's what makes it fun.
Well, that we're kind of out of time, and we're all tied up. So maybe in the future we'll have to continue this rivalry to see who's the ultimate password champion. Yeah,
Ooh,
In a-
I agree.
yeah.
That sounds fun.
but that will do it. How did you all do at home? Did you get any of these words before we did? We actually did pretty well. I scored a 9, 10, 7, 8, and you scored a 9, 8, 9, 8. So you were really consistent with getting it with just a couple of clues. We were pretty good at that.
Yeah,
We're
it
both
was-
good clue givers, clue guessers.
Yeah, honestly, I love giving the clues for some reason. I love trying to associate the best way, and I love that.
That's the
but yeah, let us know.
creative aspect.
Oh yeah, it's great. But yeah, let us know at Profoundish Pod.
On the Twitter or the TikTok or the Instagram at Profoundish Pod. Thank you for listening
Tell
wherever
us.
you're listening to us on. We're available on like the Spotifys and the Apples and the YouTubes. Give us a like, a 5-star, a follow, a subscribe, maybe a comment, answer a Q&A question or something. Do all of those things for Profoundish. But enough about Profoundish.
Hell,
Where do we find you,
listen.
Alex?
Well, give us those things, but give us a hug.
In person. Find us.
Just in person. Find us.
Hack.
It's the Where's Waldo episode.
Hack our IRL password and find us in person.
Don't try Alligator 7. I have to change it first.
Yeah, we're gonna change our passwords after this.
Yeah, we probably should. What if Russian Ubisoft guys listening?
He's like, it was Alligator 7. I had been guessing Crocodile 6.
Crocodile 6. Why is Crocodile 6 funnier than Alligator 7?
Because I said it, and I'm funnier.
It's funnier. Both of those things are inaccurate. However, you can follow me. You can find everything I do at alexduquette.net. You can find my original music there. I have an album out called Songs from Sangamon Street. That's Sangamon. Sangamon Street.
Yeah.
Check that out. And then also I do medleys. So I take TV show theme songs. I take little bits of multiple songs and then slam them together into one song. It's really fun to go on little nostalgia nostalgia trips. So check me out, alexduquette.net or Alex Duquette on YouTube. What about you, Weston?
I have a website for all the things that I do. I do a bunch of stuff, poetry, blah, blah, blah. WestonHasty.com, just to find out what I do. If you want to say hi, go to Twitter at WestonHasty. Or if you are into gaming, come catch a live stream at Magic Man Mo on YouTube. That's it. That's all I'm giving. Thank you all so much for listening. And until next time,
Crocodile 6!
Alligator 7.